What's up, gang? Welcome back to DizDad TV, and today we have another reaction video. We're checking out the Disney Plus and Star Wars series Andor. This is episode 9. We're going to check out my reactions for earlier episodes in this series, other Star Wars and Marvel shows, theme park, Imagineering content. You can find it all on the homepage of the channel. Links in the description below as well. Appreciate you checking that out, liking, subscribing, hanging out with me here. But I guess this is kind of my weekly PSA to encourage you all to continue watching this show, encourage your friends to watch this show, give it a chance. I know viewership or lack of viewership has been kind of an ongoing thing with this series throughout the season. And maybe here in these last few episodes, if we get some big moments or action, maybe it'll draw some folks back. And hard to believe, I guess 4 episodes left, so it's kind of crazy we're almost done with this first season, but maybe that will draw some more folks back into it. We know season 2 is coming no matter what, so that's not a concern, but I would love to see more people give this show a chance. It's just such a well-written show, and I've been thoroughly enjoying it, and you know that if you've seen any of my reactions at this point. Episode 8, again, another great all-around episode. Spent a ton of time with the Imperial Security Bureau there in Coruscant, and then followed it up with Andor and a lot of time with him there in his new home, Narkina 5, and the prison there, the Empire's prison, or one of the Empire's prisons on that planet. Building, I have no idea what, but I'm really curious as we get into episode 9, kind of seeing what his state of mind is. What's the plan? Is there a plan for getting out of here? Who's going to help him? How's that going to work out? And how in the world does that come about? I'm hoping it starts happening in this episode, but we'll kind of see, or at least building up for that, for the next episode. But all that being said, I'm ready for it. Let's just go ahead and check out episode 9. Did she just crack her neck?
Who's developed a unique interview system some of us are very excited about. As you well know.
If Dr. Gorst wasn't creepy enough, her talking about this interview system they're very excited about. Wow.
You're in my net, Biggs. Are you a fish or are you a thief? Seems a shame to end.
I feel like I've said it probably at least 50 times or at least once per episode that she's been in. That actress in this role is fantastic. She's got this part down pat. Just the look, the vibe, the menacing look. I mean, it's just everything that she's doing is totally on point.
The very worst thing you can do right now is bore me.
Gosh. She's scary. How was that for an opening? What was that, 4 minutes scene of this episode? That was something else.
Push. We're already up on 4.
I could use a proper meal.
2 left.
Yeah. Who doesn't want taste with their meal, right?
You are the next man out. You are the shortest of the short.
He's almost out, huh?
There's nothing intrinsically physical about this process, but we've had some early trials that were a bit chaotic.
Wow. Again, great casting choice. This guy is creepy.
Believe are primarily children, which has its own particular effect.
Oh, jeez. This is going to be rough. They're not going to let us hear the sound, are they? At least I hope not. Oh, God. Ah. How's that for a segue? And that scene, oh gosh. I hate to say that was a good scene, but just the tension and anxiety from that scene shades a little bit, going back, was it episode 4 and the Leia interrogation, there on the Death Star, especially with that door closing. It's an interesting little callback. It reminds me of that. What's he doing here? Okay, is this part of an escape plan here? I guess they don't have cameras in there? I mean, it's a bathroom, but who knows with the Empire?
It's touching the rail. Believe me now, the elevator's not wide. Nothing that moves can fry you.
Alright, well, we're finding out very early on his mental state at this point. He's definitely planning an escape.
Do you think I don't want to win? Am I working or not?
He's having a rough day, isn't he?
I'd like
had to hang him. What's left of him, anyway.
God, just the mentality.
Our first responsibility is
Is that how they tune her out? They turn their lights off at their stations?
those of you who still believe that when we enter this building, we are in a
Doesn't look like there's too many open minds, does it?
What?
Your cousin?
Who's her cousin? Is this somebody we've met before?
You're right, yeah.
I'm fine.
Level 2 far side.
You don't look fine, dude.
And you're panicking about something that's happening on the other side of the building!
Andy Serkis, man. Letting him have it. I'm curious though, what happened to level 2? Obviously enough to get all these other guys worked up, and they couldn't get the communication through.
Your father may have an opinion. We'll see if he lets you wear it.
He lets me do anything I want.
Of course he does.
Where have you been?
Oh, is this her cousin?
Traveling.
I did not see that coming.
The rebellion comes first. We take what's left.
Yeah, that conversation with Senta is still smarting for her, isn't it?
We are nothing to them.
Good luck to you.
You think
He is having none of this conversation, is he?
how many guards on each
He wants to get those 217 shifts done, and he's out.
He'd shaved his beard. The rebels at Aldani were clean shaven.
Let's say, yeah, he had to shave to be the soldier there in Aldani, didn't he?
Standing back. She's too old and frail for anything serious.
Yeah, you better leave her alone.
Both shifts.
100 men.
That can't be right.
You heard nothing.
They killed the whole floor?
You said they'd find the whole bridge.
Speak up.
He told Zinska.
Why?
Is that why the lights went out?
Hold your program!
Look at his face, Andy
Line
Serkis.
up and listen!
What is he thinking right now?
Keep our heads down until we know what's going on.
Oh, this is a man that's got, what, 217 shifts left, and he's going through a lot right now. He thought he was getting out of here, but it sounds like they killed an entire floor. Now he's not so sure of what's lies ahead for his future.
It's called cleaning. I like a tidy house.
You've been in my private box. I have ways of knowing.
These two are too much.
When you could easily ignore me. Imagine I cracked and wasn't here.
Oh, man. That was like such a classic teenager or kid move there. Let's drown her out with the slurping milk. That was classic.
I knew they'd recognize your promise.
How the conversation changed when she thinks he got a promotion. Oh man, this scene is too much. She's beaming with pride now.
Come on, boys.
I hope regardless of whenever he gets out, they tell us what they're building there.
Well, you need a widower at this point. Who's left of any value at your age?
Yes. All the good
What a
ones.
complete ass. He is a complete ass. That's so fascinating that they're cousins, and I'm still curious if Luthen's related, I guess, both of them now in some fashion. I wondered if that was her dad, and maybe that's her uncle. I guess we'll see, but I'm really curious now if that family relationship extends even further. But it's very interesting to see the two of them, you know, as part of this rebellion and the different roles they're playing. What is he up to?
Oh, that wasn't a conversation. You were brought in for questioning. Are you stalking me?
Sounds like he is.
I know you work here, and I come sometimes to see if I'll see you.
That's stalking.
After meeting you and discovering you understood how dangerous Cassian Andor was, and
Is he in love with her?
perhaps my deranged belief that there was something better fated for me in the future.
He gets creepier and creepier, doesn't he?
You come near me again, you pursue any of this, and I swear I'll have you in a cage on the outer rim.
I think she would do it too. I'm still a little amazed that the two of them are not working together. And again, maybe they will. I mean, of course, the way this conversation is going, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But I mean, he's even creeping her out. that was a very weird interaction, and that guy just seems like he's going off the deep end.
How much trouble am I in?
There's no trouble at all unless they scan the accounts.
So she's in trouble.
You have someone in mind,
It's not a long list.
and yet you're afraid to say who it is.
Davos Kalden.
Is that somebody we know or have heard of before?
He is not a banker. He's a thug.
The wealthiest thug of them all.
But what is Star Wars without thugs and loan sharks and gangsters, right?
He's telling us there's a raid planned on the power station at Spellhouse. Where was he heading?
Oh, is this the mission that Luthen was talking about with Saw?
If we did it quickly, staged it properly, let it drift into traffic.
Make it so top priority. We leave no trace. Excellent work. I want a meeting with military intelligence.
She just came with that right off the cuff, didn't she?
Let's go.
That guy's great.
Come on, let's get this done.
That guy looks terrible, doesn't he?
Cover it.
Is he having a heart attack? Oh, yeah. He's not going to make it, is he? Oh, are they shocking those guys? Oh, it's painful. Every losing team gets shocked. That's brutal. He may not make it back to the bunk.
I can't help him. I can't help anyone.
Oh, is he putting him to sleep permanently?
He'll pass peacefully, which is more than I can say for the rest.
Oh, he's going to euthanize him.
You want to keep your men in line. Hold him.
He does not want to talk about level 2, does he?
Blood got out on the floor and then they killed them all.
You need those other men.
Oh, they killed them all.
No one's getting out, are they?
They just move them between floors, don't they? There's no final shift for these guys.
How many guards on each level?
He's going to answer now.
Never more than 12.
He's all in, baby. He is all in. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You knew they were going to do that. You knew they were going to end the episode there. Should not be shocked whatsoever. Oh, man. I will say, again, I've told you guys, I love this series. Another well-done episode, but I am thoroughly depressed after watching this. I am absolutely depressed. Just kicking off the episode, the opening, I was at 3 or 4 minutes. The whole interrogation there with Bix and Supervisor Miro and Dr. Gorsh and this new interrogation technique. They even came back to it a minute or two later. We see Bix later in the episode, kind of the aftermath of the interrogation and just the anguish and mentally what she's gone through. And then the rest of that time, all this stuff happening there in Narkina 5. And yeah, I could use a pick-me-up episode. I could definitely use a pick-me-up episode. I'm open. I'd hope this will be the Prison Break episode, episode 9. I hope that's episode 10 and we get some good moments. Maybe we can see some of the rebellion again because I could definitely use it after this. Well, the last couple episodes, but this one especially, I could definitely use some good times and some action just to kind of put this out of my mind momentarily. But Andy Serkis, we talked a lot about, or at least I have, the casting and the acting done within this series. So many great jobs, and the writing's been fantastic. But Andy Serkis, this episode was by far the standout for me. He had a lot more dialogue, obviously, this episode, but it was so much more just facially, like just watching the different emotions play out on his face. And he went through an entire character arc this episode, which is amazing. Early on, begin this episode, he's this, leader of this room, floor, what have you, in the day shift. And all he's got on his mind is back to work, keep these guys in line. He's got his, 217 or 271 shifts, left to go. He's got that on it. That's his focus, getting that done, getting out of there. And then as the episode progresses and, about halfway through the episode, maybe, they get the initial news about level 2, or at least the rumor, and you see an initial bit of doubt creep into his face. Still vocally and physically, he's still getting on the guys, on program, back in line, shut up, all this kind of stuff. But you get this momentary glimpse of doubt on his face as he's kind of processing, what's coming into them. And then as they get more and more detail throughout the episode, and that very last scene there with the doctor, and as the realization comes to him that, okay, what he thought he was working for is not going to happen. More than likely, he's not getting out of there. Once this time is up, he's probably going to a different floor, and then, they're gone. They're done. And just watching that, and then that final cutaway with him and Andor walking out, and that steely gaze, and you just see he's bought in. Like, he's part of this now. He's getting out, and maybe he's getting out. I don't know. I could very possibly see as part of the escape him not making it out. But I hope that's our episode 10. Please let that be our episode 10. Maybe they change things up with the latter half of the season. We talked about, the first 6 episodes. We had this 2-3 episode arc. So maybe they change things up a little bit here. But I can't see that beat episode 12. They got to get that done and leave us another plot point to lead into episode 2, I think. And I even mentioned in last episode that very brief interaction between Saw and Luthen there, and Luthen bringing up the energy depot mission or potential of it, trying to get Saw's help. And we had a brief mention in this episode as well, the Empire catching a pilot that was aware of this mission that's in play. So it seems like that could potentially be our season finale, or kind of the halfway point, and lead into next season, but we'll be looking for that. But curious what you guys thought of this episode. What are the thoughts and emotions you're left with after watching this? What do you think happens next? How do you think they get out of here? These guys, initial planning's in place. I don't know what they were sawing there in the bathroom. Andor was possibly cutting the feed or cutting the electric feed for the floor. I'm surprised they're not monitoring that bathroom, but I guess maybe the Empire actually does have some civility. They don't want to put cameras in the bathroom. But really interested to see how they're going to get out of this thing. And definitely Andor has got some help, it appears. But really looking forward to the next episode. And again, looking for that pick-me-up. But appreciate you guys joining me for this reaction. And until next time, I will see you for the next episode in Andor, episode 10.